3 years. That's how long Germany's recession has lasted. Europe's industrial powerhouse, the engine of the entire continent, grinding to a halt. But this wasn't an accident. This was the plan. They called it the Energiewende, Germany's bold green energy transition. The promise was simple: eliminate fossil fuels, save the planet, lead Europe into a sustainable future. 80% renewable energy by 2030, net zero by 2045. Germany would prove an advanced economy could go completely green. But here's what they never told you. The architects weren't engineers or economists. They were ideologists. And when you prioritize symbolic purity over economic reality, you don't stumble, you collapse. When Germany cut Russian gas in 2022, industrial energy costs tripled. Overnight, manufacturers faced a brutal choice: absorb costs that would bankrupt them or leave. Most chose to leave. You can't run heavy industry when electricity costs 3 times what competitors pay. 143,000 manufacturing jobs cut last year alone. This year, 40% of industrial companies planning more cuts. These aren't abstract numbers. These are families, communities, entire towns watching their economies evaporate. Germany's car industry, the crown jewel of European manufacturing. 5.6 million vehicles in 2017, 4 million by 2025. The 2026 projection, 3.4 million. A 40% collapse in less than a decade. Volkswagen, BMW, mass layoffs announced. Not because they're failing at innovation, but because they can't compete with the energy costs their own government imposed. What China spends to build an EV, Germany spends 3 times as much. The green transition handed the entire electric vehicle market to China on a silver platter. Where are these factories going? Poland, Czech Republic, anywhere energy is cheaper. This isn't a recession, it's an industrial exodus. Germany's manufacturing output has been shrinking since 2017, before Energiewende even fully kicked in. The policy was designed to lead Europe forward. Instead, it pushed German industry backward. While German factories close, Chinese EVs flood the European market. Built with coal power, shipped on diesel freighters, sold at prices German manufacturers can't touch. Germany sacrificed its industrial base to fight climate change, only to hand market share to a country that runs on coal. The brutal irony: Germany didn't eliminate emissions, they exported them. Products Germans buy are still made with fossil fuels just in Poland, Vietnam, and China now. The carbon footprint is identical. The jobs are gone. Industrial capacity destroyed. This is what happens when you confuse virtue signaling with environmental policy. The Bundesbank just lowered Germany's 2026 growth forecast to 0.6%, barely above economic flatline. 3 consecutive years of recession. That's not an anomaly. That's structural collapse. Step back for a moment. Who benefits when domestic industry collapses? When manufacturing moves to countries with cheaper labor and looser standards? When the middle class shrinks and becomes dependent on government support? This pattern isn't new. The Green Revolution wasn't designed to save the planet. It was ideological policy, a normative ritual that valued symbolic purity over industrial reality. Germany is paying with its economic sovereignty. When you sacrifice competitiveness for ideology, you don't just lose markets, you lose independence. The lesson is clear. You can't sacrifice your industrial base on the altar of ideology and expect to remain prosperous. Germany tried. The experiment failed. And the rest of Europe is watching nervously, wondering if they're next. If you found this eye-opening, hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into current events. Drop a comment below. Is this green transition worth the cost? Let me know what you think.